first thing first, I've changed the setting for chat to everyone. So everyone can talk to everyone. There's no censorship here. You can all talk together. The reason why we made it unavailable to others previously is because we received comments from students saying that it was really too distracting. So and then we got comments from other people who want that function on. So here you go. You have the option to chit chat with everyone. Just keep in mind that if you have a question, put them in the Q&A box, please, because the chat is going to go really fast and there's no way that we can cover every single question. Yes, I know, Oli, it's distracting, but some people like to have it. So if you want everyone to hear if you want everyone to see your comments in the chat box, make sure that you put it to panelists and attendees. Otherwise, if you just send to panelists, it's just for us. If you want to ask a question, put them in the Q&A box. Just because the chat is going so fast, there's no way that we can cover all the questions. And I've been accused of not covering questions because it was in the chat box and it went so fast that I didn't see it. And that students came back and said that I'm ignoring her question. It was not, I generally didn't ignore anything. It's just, it went so fast. There's like 400 people on that call. I didn't even see the question. So if you want us to answer to your questions, make sure to put them in the Q&A box. And the thing with the Q&A box is it's not from us. It's a setting with Zoom. You cannot see the question. Only we can see the question. So we will read out loud the question so that you know what's the question. We're not censoring anything. We read out all the questions. Everything is there. So if you wanted to chat in the chat box, if you want to ask questions in the Q&A box, so I hope that it covers everything. The other thing I want to say is, CJ and I, that's how we teach. We have a lot of knowledge, that we have a lot of experience, we banter a lot. But this is not, it doesn't mean that we're not going to cover your questions. So can you guys just put in the, chat box if you think our style is distracting or our banters are not, not helpful, because we really believe that you don't have to be all serious and you can mix a bit of fun with, with work. So yeah, we're going to try to keep it. Thanks, Kate. We're going to try to keep it straight. But for those who want to hear a little bit banter, we're going to keep it at the end, because I think CJ has a comment to make about me. She can't wait. So I told her to wait at the end.
I'll wait. Oh, but it's so good. Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so I think, yeah, thanks everyone. I think it's just it doesn't have to be always serious, it can, but that's our style. I mean, it may not suit everybody. That's us. All right, that being said, I think we're going to do a live demo today, walking you through the KDP setup. So what we want to do is we want to, in your KDP account, we're going to go through each section, and then we're going to flag some of those things that you need to think about when you're uploading your documents, when you're entering your information, because a lot of questions I get from you guys is around, those kind of little subtleties, details, like how many keywords should you put in the keyword section? What's the character limit for the book description? what pen name you should use. Is it a publishing company, a pen name? Is it an author name? What's the difference? So we're just going to go through every single one and then kind of go a little bit more in depth so that you know what you should be doing. Okay, let's do this.
Okay, let's do it. Okay. Sharing the screen. All righty, so we are in this. I'm going to bring this up. This is actually my account. This is really nice if you, sometimes it's nice. Other times people, you know, will put in really stupid things like you misspelled a name that you totally made up in a fantasy book. It's like, yeah, because I made up that word. So that's how I spell it. Anyway, so what you'll find is that if someone has found like a comma missing, and they decide they want to report it, which was what happened in here, then you can view the items if someone has decided that your book needs work. So I saw that one and I was like, I'm not fixing that comma right now. Anyway, I just wanted you to see that so that you could, seriously, a comma. So anyway, just know that that's a nice little feature that'll pop up there. And you can go in and see what other people have found. Usually it's really helpful, but commas. Anyway, okay, so when you come here to this and you open up your own Kindle Direct publishing account, you're going to come to this main page right here, and it's beautiful and it has options. And you can decide to click on create a new series, or if you're not sure whether it's going to be a series or not, you just want to start out with one book, then you can start creating either the Kindle version or the paperback. Just because this is the habit that I'm in, I usually click on the Kindle ebook. And then what it does is it pulls up three pages. Basically, this is page 1 where you put in the details. This is page 2. This tab right here will bring up another page that will take you to the content section where you upload files such as your manuscript and your cover. And then this is the page where you decide like pricing, whether you want to sell things internationally or do expanded distribution. So we're going to get to all of that just starting right now. So choose your language. You know, if you're translating books, excellent. I think most everyone's going to have stuff in English. And then what you're going to do is just type in the title.
There.
Yes.
So let's just go like step by step, and I'm just going to cover all the questions that I got. So language, it's yes, most of you will be doing English, but I did get a question, sorry, I can't remember the name, whereby she did the research and she thought that her book could work well in English and in Spanish. So, but that's still for Amazon.com. There's a big, you know, Spanish speaking community in the US. So in that case, what you do is you submit that book twice, but like one it's in English and one it's in Spanish. So if that makes sense.
Yeah, they're two different products. They're considered two separate books. So you have to upload them as separate books. Yeah. Okay, great. So once you decide which title, we're just going to do, this is essentially going to be a dummy file for me because I've already uploaded this book and filled out this information, but you just put in your title. Okay. If you have a subtitle, go ahead and type all of that in as well. Okay. And then if you have series details, you're going to click on this if it is a series. If not, you're just going to skip it. Okay. But in this case, I have a series name. Saved successfully. Great. Can I add it? What's going on? Okay. So I'll just say like it's a new one. All right. Oh, this bar is right here. Tell me what this says, Virginie.
This book is one of the primary titles in the series, main content. And then the second box is related content. How is the title related to the series? Is it main content or related?
Yeah, right. So this would be main content. So if this is related content, like a prequel or a short story, or maybe you decide to do, some people in fiction will do like a spin-off series. So it's not necessarily part of the main series, part of the main title. but it is a spin-off series. So you want it still included or linked or branded, I guess you could say, to fit within that same universe, then they'll make a note of that and you can hit related content. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just going to go back
Yeah.
and click on this because I don't actually want to add any new series, but I just wanted to show that that's what you would do right here. And then once you click on which one it is, you would actually add the series name. Okay. Once you've decided. And if this is not a series, then you're fine. You can just skip through. Any questions about that you want to stop?
Yeah, I do. So I think I got a question asking whether you can start just as a solo, freestanding,
Yes.
freestanding book,
Yeah.
then come back and add a series.
Yeah, absolutely. You can. Yeah. In fact, that's how we all started out before they created this new little, like this whole thing is new. So I've never actually gone through and added it or created it this way because it's fairly recent that they've come up with the manage your series area. So, but yes, you still can just add one book at a time. And then if you decide to include it in a series, then you can start adding the second, third books into a nonfiction series or fiction series. So it works either way. This edition number is helpful. Let's say that you make a lot of changes to a book. Maybe you've added more content. Maybe you've done some significant editing. And so rather than saying that this is edition number 1, you would put edition number 2. Okay, it's optional. You don't have to do it. Rarely do I ever just sit there and go edition number 1. Usually if I fill this out, it's because I did make some significant changes to a book and I want people to know that. And so I'll put edition number 2 in so that they're aware as they come to this book and see it again. If they've bought it and they see edition 2, then maybe they could reach out and ask me about it, or they could talk to Amazon and say, hey, I've already bought this book. Can I update what you sent me? Especially through Kindle, they'll do that. Amazon will update what you added and they'll give you the newer, they'll give them the newer version of it, which is nice for them because they already bought it. It's good customer service. And it's also helpful because sometimes that can kind of improve your reviews as well. And so I actually just recently added about 20,000 words to one of my books. So I've put, not only have I put like edition number 2 in here, but I've gone so far in the book description as to say, new bonus material added, over 20,000 words. You know, if you do that in the book description, that really helps as well. So that's what you can do with the edition number.
Yeah, I think that's maybe more relevant for nonfiction books rather than for fiction books, because I might write something on Facebook ads, and Jesus, it's not even every year; it changes every month.
Every month, yeah,
So,
agreed.
So that's where you can put this, edition number 175, because that's how many changes it comes every year. So that's maybe more relevant for nonfiction. So yes, and then just go back to the series. You can definitely add that later. Once you have a series, because when you just start with book number 1, it's just book number 1. You don't have a series yet, but then you can add it later on. Yep.
Yep. And then you're going to put this pen name in here. And Virginie had mentioned that there'd been some confusion between what's a pen name, what's a publisher name, and then what's a business name. So the pen name is the primary person who wrote the book. Since ghostwriters are writing this is a pen name of your choosing. So it's either going to be your name, like because you actually want to be the face of this series and be the person promoting this, or it's going to be a pen name. We just need a name that signifies this is the person who wrote the book, or this is who we're saying wrote the book. When it comes to a publishing company, that's completely different. Publishing companies are not the folks who wrote the book. These are the folks who publish the book. So that's going to be you. If you have an official publishing company, you could name it that. One thing that I did, and this is just an example, I own CJ Anaya Publishing LLC. I did that so that, any books that I published, they all went under that publishing company name. And that was just a personal preference and a personal choice right there. But it's an official publishing company, and you can choose to do an LLC, you can choose to do a sole proprietorship. That's going to be specific to every country and the area you live. So when deciding this, when it comes to deciding like a publishing company name, really talk to a lawyer or whoever you need to when it comes to the rules regarding that, because we can't give you advice on that. Just know that the publishing company name, that's who's publishing the book. And then the pen name is the person who wrote the book. That's the two, that's what's different about it. Okay. Do you have anything else to add, Virginie?
Yeah. So what do you do if, can you have both on? Can you have?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So like if so you put your author name right here. And I believe, is there even, I think you can add, is it right here? No. So here, if you want to add who edited it, who did the forward illustrations, you know, sometimes like cover design, you can add here, like for Illustrator. And I believe there's another place, I could have sworn there was another place where you can actually type in the name of the publisher. I know there is. We'll get to it in a little bit, but there is a place within the forms where you can actually type in the name of the person who's publishing this. And that might even actually happen in the tax area, because I believe it for my tax area within the account, I actually put it under, you know, my name, Cynthia Anaya, but also within the business scope, like CJ Anaya Publishing LLC. So that information is already uploaded and in the tax area. And I think that they also draw on that to show who the publisher is. If you do not put a publisher name in there at all, if you just leave it blank and you don't have it, that's fine. It'll just say that Amazon published it. That's all. That's just what it'll say. And it doesn't mess up your royalties. You still get the same amount of royalties and you still own the rights. They're just saying that it's being published under Amazon's name rather than you as a publisher, if that makes sense.
Yep.
Okay.
The other thing I want to talk about the pen name. So I did get a question where you are, you are contacting a ghostwriter, and what name should you be giving to your ghostwriter? You can give your pen name or you can give your real name. It doesn't matter. It's just and the agreement that you have with the ghostwriter, it should be under your name, because the pen name doesn't exist. So like it does exist, but it doesn't legally.
Not legally, yeah.
Yeah, it's not the legal entity. So if you enter into a legal agreement with your ghostwriter, then you should be using your real name. The other thing that you need to think about when you're thinking about your pen name is to check that those names are not trademarked, and they are not, there's a domain name available. You remember how I said that I like, one of my hobbies is to buy domain names?
Yes.
Well,
among bleaching everything. Oh yes, I remember all of those things, Virginia.
So just adding that on your list, I know. So what I like to do is say I want to do I don't know, Tom Clancy as my pen name. You know, I want to check that www.tomclancy.com is available. It doesn't mean that you have to have a website right now. It just means that later on, if you want to have a website, that domain name is available to you. I'm pretty sure Tom Clancy is not available domain name. So yeah, it's just that it will just be easier, because if you establish the presence on Amazon and you've been selling, and then you want to take your marketing to the next level, you want to be able to have that domain name to do all those external marketing things that you want to do. Whereas if you don't have it and you don't check it, that means that you might not be able to use that domain name. You can buy it, but it can be quite costly. So you should just at the beginning check that the domain name is available, and also make sure that it's not trademarked. So for example, if you go on the USPTO website, so trademark is country specific. So I'm talking, because you're selling in Amazon US, so I'm talking about the US marketplace. So if you go on the USPTO website, which is the United States USP Patent and Trademark Office, USPTO, and you do a trademark search for, say, for example, the dummy. If you do the dummy, the word dummies, then you will see that this is trademarked, and its trademark is by class. So you might have a trademark a registration under the the publishing and the book class, and you will see that the dummies is actually a trademarked name under the publishing and books class. So if you use that name, you will be infringing on their trademark. So two things to check: trademark and domain name. So yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah. And domain name of the pen name that you use. Yes, Sarah. Yeah. Okay.
Any other questions or good to go?
I think we'll come back to the Q&A at the end. We'll cover all of them. Don't worry, we're going to stay on as long as we need just to cover everything.
Okay.
Let's go. Yeah, you didn't know that. You didn't know that we're going to stay.
We're going to stay on here forever.
Forever. Let's do this. Contributors. So contributors is just optional. You don't have to. It's up to you.
Again, yeah, you can, it just depends on who you want to give credit to. I like to give credit to my cover designers because if they show up, they're, then they get more business. So I try to be helpful in that respect. Editors, sometimes that's really nice to do that as well. So it's just, it depends on your relationship with people you're working with. So completely up to you how you want to do that. Okay. And then your book description. This is new, by the way, the bold italics underlined. Before there was nothing. So the only way to do any kind of like bolding, if you wanted to bold something, you had to do that. Okay. And then type in the save the last dance. Okay. And then you'd have to, do something like this. So that, oh, I can spell. Okay. So let's say that you wanted that bold. You would have had to type in HTML coding like this to signify that needed to be bold. Okay. Now what you can do is just do that within this. You can italicize, underlined. It'll give you, bullet points. Looks like you can format things a certain way when it comes to headings. I don't know why it took Amazon so long to do this, but I've been doing this for years and just Amazon. Oh, they frustrate me. So it took them a while, but they got there. Yay. And I have no idea. This is new. What is this? Do you know what this is, Virginie?
No.
I'm going to click on it. Okay, I'm not sure what happened. Oh, maybe this is you entering in your own HTML coding stuff since this got taken out. I'm not sure. Anyway, so just know that you can go in, you can copy and paste your beautifully, keyword rich, search engine optimized book description, put it in there, and then you can start breaking things up. I highly encourage you to break them up into tiny bite-sized paragraphs with a little bit of bolding here and there to break up the text and to draw their eye to certain things that are really important within the book description. And you can continue, you can go on and look at, other book descriptions and see how they do that. But that's going to be a great way for them to feel like they want to read your book description rather than seeing a huge block of text. You may need to manually go in and do that again to the paperback. For whatever reason, Amazon hates paperback book descriptions, and they will constantly lump that book description into just a really ugly paragraph. And so I always go in and check that, especially after I've published it, because if it still looks really funky on the paperback side of things, then you need to go in and try to fix it again, talk to them, because it ain't pretty. So this is actually very important, the way that you do headers and the way that you, do little bullet points, especially when you're discussing what you will learn within this book. And then you have the bullet points, okay? That's where you can put in all your really great keyword research right there as well. So just make the book description look very inviting to the eye, not just a compelling book description, but visually appealing, because that's part of your marketing. Okay. And I'm just going to type in a placeholder here because they're not going to let us move on unless I type something in there. So pretend that's a really awesome, amazing, compelling book description.
Okay. Just
and then we'll keep going.
A second.
Yes.
So yeah, I actually didn't see that. This is interesting. So we don't need the we don't need the what is
The
called
book description generator anymore?
Yeah.
Mm.
You think?
Nope.
That's great. Okay.
Yeah, I know.
So just let's take a step back. HTML is just a code so that, you know, instead of having a block of text like a chunk, it's very difficult for readers to see. So HTML allows to have those breaks, you know, the bold, the italic, the underline, all those options that you can see there, and you can change the format of your text, of your font and things like that, and add bullet points. So this is the purpose of HTML. So it's only for book description section. It's not for the book itself. You know, once you formatted your book, that's it. That you don't need to do anything. So HTML is only for the book description. So to improve the reader's experience, so that it's easy for them to see. You know, I skim read a lot, so I like to go like, what's the bullet point? I know CJ, you're thinking about something else.
Yes.
Let's keep it at the end. Let's keep it at the end.
Hold on a second.
Yeah.
Of course, my ringer went off right in the middle of this. I'm sorry. Yep.
Okay. So yeah, keep going. We'll come back to all your questions. I know that you asked some questions of the things that we covered before. We'll come back to all those, so don't worry about it. Yeah, go.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
Just know that now you don't have to worry about that because you can format it here, whereas before you couldn't. So yay, Amazon. Okay, so right here in the publishing rights area, this is not a public domain work if you had a ghostwriter write it. This is only a public domain work if it's like, you know, someone wrote it, the author's dead, it's been 70 years. And I think, Virginie, you've done videos and Sophia's done videos on how to publish public domain books, right? Hasn't that?
We just lost you 2 seconds there. I've done what?
Oh. You guys have done a video where you talk about like how to do public domain books.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. Sophia has done a video.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that, just know that that does not apply to you if you have a book that you've ghostwritten. So just, you're the one who holds it. So you click on that. I own the copyright. I hold the necessary publishing rights. Okay. So this, this for whatever reason really trips a lot of people up. When it comes to your keywords, you can put in like a keyword phrase or just one keyword if you want to, but don't keyword stuff, if you know what I mean. Like don't put 2 keyword phrases in or 5 keyword phrases in. I don't even know that you can, to be honest. I'm not sure what the word count is, but let's just say, for example, a phrase, it could be do it yourself or DIY. Oh, that's in caps. Why is that in caps? So do it yourself. Hydroponics. So that could be a keyword search term right there. That's all you need. And then you move on to the next one. If you're writing a fiction book and it has, you know, spacecraft in it, then you could put, or, you know, lightsabers or something like that. Then you could put lightsabers in here. If that's a great, I don't even know if that's how you spell that. If that is a great way to describe your book, and if that's actually a really good keyword, you know, then you could just type that in. So you can either put one keyword in or a keyword phrase, but not multiple things stuffed into one area. Otherwise, you kind of confuse Amazon a little bit. They confuse easily. So be careful about that.
You don't need to duplicate. You don't need to say, you already put hydroponics in the first box. You don't need to repeat that again. The other thing, sorry, just one step back. Sorry, guys, I'm just, you know, thinking about questions that have been asked. For the book description, it's 4,000 characters for the limit. So you at the bottom of that corner where it says 3,966. So it's 4,000 in total. Characters, not
and it'll let you know how many you have left as you keep typing. So I have that much left to go.
Sorry, for the keywords, I think it's 50 characters. Each box allows a maximum of 50 characters. So but don't stuff it. Don't stuff it.
Yeah.
But you can also put more than one word. Actually, I don't know from your experience, but I found that it's better to put a keyword phrase rather than an individual keyword, because when you are a shopper and then when you do a search in the search bar, it's very rare that you search just one word. People don't search that way. They search in like at least 3-4 words, as, how do you do
How
this?
to do this,
Or
or
DIY hydroponics, or, something that's it. People don't really search this with one word. Yeah, so keyword phrase, I think it's better, but don't keep, but
agreed.
don't stuff everything in there. Okay, all right.
Okay. Now here is where I think some people have gotten confused about categories. You're only allowed 2 categories that you can choose from here, but you can have up to 10. And that's what we talked about last time. I will always set 2 categories in here, but 9 times out of 10, it's still not what I want, because they don't, this is not, I hate it. Basically, I hate it so much. So it doesn't sub niche the way that I want it to, the way that it does on Amazon, so I can't pick things really niche down like I want to. So if I go to juvenile fiction, and I want to do fairy tales and folklore, country and ethnic, then I'll choose that one for my fantasy book. And then I could also choose fantasy and magic, but I already know in my head, I chose those just kind of for me as a placeholder. You guys might find the categories that you want, like 2 of them within here, and that's great. That means you only need to find 8 more, and then, give Amazon a call, as we showed you last week. And then, pick the other 8 categories that you want. For me, because I never find the right ones when it comes to fiction, I just choose something that is close enough and a bit of a placeholder. I save it so I can continue. And then what I do is go in and collect all 10 of the categories that I want my book placed in. And then I email or call Amazon and say, these are the 10 I want. I don't send them 8, I send them 10, because I want them to replace these 2. But it's completely up to you guys. If you're able to find the 2 categories that you like in here, then you only need to send them 8 more. So it's up to you guys. Okay.
I think the category you see here is the, what is called the BIC. It's
kind of like the metadata.
No, it's just the traditional. Yeah, it's the traditional.
Oh yeah, well it is the, yeah.
All publishers use. But then once you're on Amazon, Amazon has its own categories, and there have many more than what you can see there. So that's why you might not find the best categories that you want by default. But then once you found more those categories by using Publisher Rocket, you can then be more targeted. And we talk about the reason why we want to add more categories. It's so that you can rank better in the less competitive categories.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
All righty. Okay, this is for when you're publishing children's books. If you feel like you need, this is optional. You don't have to add an age range unless it's super specific to children, or it's super specific to adults, and you have like an age thing where it's like 18 plus, like you have to be 18 to read this book. Then that's what you would do. You would select the minimum range or the maximum range, and you know, figure out, but that's entirely optional. And that's up to you based on your book and what you're writing. Okay. I usually leave it blank because a lot of people enjoy my young adult. They're basically 17, 18. And so it's for a much older audience. So I just leave it blank. I don't set it as young adult or anything like that. This area is really interesting because you can either publish it now because you've got it all ready to go, or you can click on make my Kindle ebook available for pre-order. And then you can, and I highly encourage you to click on this and to learn more about pre-orders and what the possibilities are. Because if you have a series and you know that your books are actually going to be ready to go very soon, you could just release one every month, and you could actually put, you know, the books on pre-order because you already know when you're going to release them. What that signifies to your readers is that you have a lot of books in line and they would be anxious to see more and to read more. And then you're able to get early sales with pre-orders. So that also ups your numbers, that ups your sales rank. It's basically you creating buzz. And you know, building on your sales rank and improving it and selling these books before they're even completely written or published. And so you can choose, I think it's 90 days out, unless they changed it. I'm not sure how far ahead you can go. Oh, they changed it. Because usually it was just, you could only pre-order 90 days ahead. Oh, I like this.
Don't you have one coming?
Yeah, I have one. I have a book on pre-order for August 31st. So I'm just finishing up. I know. I'm so happy. Oh man, I'm so happy. It's taken me 2 years between homeschooling kids and life. So it's finally done. Yeah. So that's happening August 31st. So this was what I did. I set that release date and thought to myself, I'd better finish this book. God, I've done this. So yeah, so it looks like you can schedule this out like almost a year in advance. Was that yeah, a year in advance. That's crazy. They didn't do that before. I think it was like 90 days before that. Maybe it was up to 6 months. But here's the thing, you can lose your privileges with a pre-order if you do not have your finished manuscript and your cover design uploaded within the specific time frame that they give you. So if you were to click on this and say, yes, I want to pre-order, you pick the date, and then you hit save and continue. The next page is going to show you the date that they expect the finished manuscript to be uploaded by. And to be safe, honestly, I put it about a week or two even before that, just because there have been authors who have published it by that date, like maybe the day of that date or the day before. And for whatever reason, Amazon had a glitch and they didn't upload it like they should have. So even though the author did the right thing, Amazon didn't fix it in time. And then the pre-order doesn't happen. Like nobody gets the books delivered. Amazon's system then blames the author and they get kicked out of the pre-order program. And then the author has the headache of going in and proving that, yes, they did upload it correctly. So for me, even though my due date is August 18th is when I have to have everything up and ready to go, I'm putting it in August 1st, and then I'm not touching it after that, because I want a full month for Amazon to get their crap together and make sure that that's ready to go. So I've never had a problem, but I've heard nightmares from other authors about that. So, you know, just make sure you put that final manuscript up and the cover up in the way before the allotted time that they give you, so that everything is all ready to go there. And I was going to say something else, and now I can't remember. Nope, it's gone. If I think of it, I'll say it.
That you're going to force me to read your book. I know.
Oh, yes. Yes. I'm not even going to pay you to do it. Just force you. That's right. Because I'm a good friend, Virginie, and I want you well read.
Wait 1 second. So I do want to say something about this. So Nancy just made a good comment, not trusting pre-order on Amazon. Yeah. So I just uploaded the new book, and we had some issues with Amazon. We've done everything as we should, and we had a problem with our pricing. And this is I guess, the joy of playing on Amazon's platform. There's going to be bugs, there's going to be issues, and it might cost you sales, which it did for us. So it's been solved, but the damage is kind of already done, because this was like our launch time, and we wanted to make sure that we were not ready yet to use the KDP select free promotion days, and somehow Amazon has decided that was in place, and so it didn't coincide with our external marketing launch campaign, because all the traffic that we send to Amazon to buy the book, they don't have to buy because it's free. So it's really problematic. It costs us money, but then that's part of the game, playing with Amazon. So You just have to accept it and move on, because
Yeah.
the alternative is you don't play with Amazon, and Amazon is by far for ebooks the biggest platform. So that's just the
And they pay one of the best royalties as well.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, but bugs happen, and yeah, that's part of the game.
Yeah.
Okay, go.
Okay, all righty. So once you fill all of that out, you're going to click save and continue, and it's going to take you over to the next page. Oh, except when it doesn't, because it says that you need to fix an error that you made, possibly didn't fill out. What am I supposed to fill out? I bet I'm supposed to fill out all those keywords.
No, maybe book this. Look.
Oh, I should probably put the actual author name in, huh? They need that. I was just going through and talking instead of typing. Spell, I swear. Okay, let's try that again. Woohoo!
Great. Okay, page 2.
Page 2. All righty. Digital rights management. This is a personal choice. For me, I always click no, because for people to be able to share books, I prefer to make it easier on the readers for them to be able to download books onto different e-readers. A lot of times, if your book is enrolled in the digital rights management, what happens is your book gets sent to one e-reader and that's it. And they can't share it to other places, and there's watermarks on there, and it's really annoying for readers. So if you're concerned about piracy, all I'm going to tell you is that's not going to help you. Like, there's no way around piracy. I cannot tell you how many sites in foreign countries and other places, even here, where I have found my books being sold by other people. And at the end of the day, I'm like, well, I hope you're enjoying your royalties. Thanks for the free marketing, I guess, because eventually those folks do find me and they'll email me and they'll say, I found you on this website. And I'm like, what website? And then I go and I look and I'm like, they're not supposed to be doing that. But at the same time, they've actually found me more readers, which it's just an interesting trade-off. So yeah, the DRM is not going to protect you from piracy in any way. That stuff happens regardless. What it does do is it makes it a lot harder for people to use your ebook and to transfer it from one e-reader to another. So it's up to you. Read that through and decide if you want to do it or if you don't. I'm not going to advise you either way. I'm just telling you what I do and why. So that's completely up to you on that one. Then you're going to upload your manuscript. And we're going to go here, and then I'm going to find, I think I'm going to find it. Where did I download this? I had it right here, and now I don't remember. Aha, okay. Open. So then you're going to download it's either, I think from now on, they're only accepting EPUB. It used to be that they only did Mobi. Now they want you to upload an EPUB for Kindle. I guess they're just finally on board with everyone else and the fact that everyone else uses EPUB files instead of Mobi. So you just upload that and it will take its sweet time. So much time. It's going to take so much time. Just know that when you want to go in and take a look at not only the manuscript, but also the cover. So that will show up. It'll say, yay, we've got it. It uploaded successfully. If there's an issue, it will let you know. You can go in and see if you've got some kind of error in the formatting that wouldn't allow you to upload it. When you come here, you've got a choice between launching a cover creator or uploading a cover that you already have. I only use the launch cover creator sometimes when it comes to paperback. Sometimes I'll have a really beautiful looking ebook cover that I decide I actually want to use, and to save myself money, I won't have someone make the spine and the back cover for paperback. I'll actually just go into my paperback form and I'll hit launch cover creator, and I'll upload my ebook cover, and then I'll allow the cover creator to create the rest of the paperback, the spine and the back. That way I'm saving myself money on a paperback cover designer. And I've already got a it's the same cover that I'm using for the ebook. And then what's really nice about that too is that this particular paperback cover will adjust based on page count. So you don't have to worry about the sizing of the spine, which is also, it's always such a pain with a formatter, because when you make adjustments to your manuscript, your PDF, and the page count either rises or falls, that means you have to make adjustments to the spine on your paperback cover. When you do this in the launch cover creator for your print book, not the ebook, this is the ebook page, but for your print book, then what happens is the spine adjusts according to whatever pages you have, and it will do that at any time, and you never have to go and have someone reformat that for you. So that's pretty nice. I like that feature when it comes to the print book launch creator.
So
go ahead. Yes.
Were you there? So because some who might be just joining this program, they might not be familiar with the
oh yes, good call.
So ebook, obviously, it's just you read on any digital device, on your phone, on your Kindle reader, or on like digitally. Paperback, that's paperback. Hard copy is the hardcover. Sorry, hardcover is with a hard cover, and the spine is this. So when you do the paperback, you need to tell the number of pages, so that because the space of the spine need to be expanded if there's a lot of pages. Yeah, so I just want to clarify that. Oh, and then before I go further, bleed. The bleed is it's kind of, how do you explain? It's like the margin when they're print.
Yeah, it's the margin of the print book where there's spacing around the words, and you don't want, that's kind of the bleed area. You really don't want any marking to go on that. There needs to be room and space in the bleed area. Otherwise, Amazon's going to reject your print book, and so you'll have to go back in and figure out what to do on that. I
think I always do paperback with bleed. Do you do that?
I don't think I've ever done that, but it depends on your look really, and on your cover designer and your book formatter too.
Yeah. Right.
So yeah.
Did my video show? Because I only see your video. When I show the book,
oh yeah, no, yeah. Okay. Your book shows.
So, yeah, did you guys see the book? I wasn't sure if, because my video is not showing right now, so I don't know why. But
oh, I can see you, Virginie, just fine.
Okay, yeah. All right. As long as you could see the book.
I could also see you.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, okay, perfect, Donna. Okay, let's.
Perfect shining hair.
Okay, so before you go, so use maybe launch cover creator for your paperback, but before we get to the paperback, can you explain the cover for the ebook?
Yeah, so you're gonna get do a JPEG file, JPG. Your cover designer will know what that is, and your cover designer should understand like the pixelated, like the size of the cover, what it should be. So I'm just going to click on this. If you have your own cover, you're going to upload that file. Okay. So what I'm going to do is, I think, do I have it in here? I think I do. Okay. Yeah. And so this is the audiobook cover. So my cover designer created that. She created a cover for Barnes and Noble, one for Draft to Digital. I mean, these are all, different kinds for Smashwords. These are all different places you can publish things. If you'll see the Kindle, like the high resolution one, that's 18 by 2700 pixels. That's you don't have to learn all of these different measurements. You just need to make sure that your cover designer knows what the guidelines are and the sizes are when it comes to covers for Kindle versus Kobo, if you ever decide you want to publish in other places besides Amazon. But for now, we're just going to look at at the Kindle one, and it's 800 by 2700 is the size that's good for Kindle, or 1800, sorry. So just click on it when you've got it, upload it. And these are obviously the two most important files for you to have. They need to look fabulous. And have we talked about book formatters? Maybe we need to do that in another call, just so that you guys understand the logistics of that a little bit. But
yeah, let's do in another call. But I just want, obviously this is just a demo right now, but
right.
when you are going to upload your book and everything, you should have everything ready. You should have your book description ready, your keywords ready, your name, obviously, the book in the correct format, the cover, everything needs to be ready. So you want to launch with a bang. You want to get the maximum out of those honeymoon period when you just launch a new book. Amazon really likes people launching new books, so they will give you a little bit of preferential treatment. So you really want to have everything ready before you launch.
Right. Yep. Now, right here, do you want to show this? We can. It'll take a little time for it to get like, we can answer questions while we're waiting, but
yeah,
this is okay. What this is the launch previewer. Essentially, it's a Kindle preview. You can actually see what your book and your cover is going to look like together in their little Kindle previewer, and you can move forward and just click on things and make sure everything looks fabulous. Oh, that was fast. There's been a problem. No, be nice. Oh, how rude. Okay, let's try it again. That has happened before, and I don't like it. I don't like it when it does that. Okay, here we go. So you can look at it. This is what it would look like on a Kindle device. And it will show you different font sizes, because people can change the font size. They can change the type of font they want. It's, you know, these tablets, and these reader devices really adjust to reader preferences. And then you just keep going. And you make sure that everything looks good. The table of contents are usually in an ebook. They should be hyperlinked. So I could click on chapter 4 and be taken to chapter 4. And then you'll see, oh, I did a good job. That looks good. I formatted that. Thank you very much.
Hurry up.
Out of myself.
Come on.
Okay, and so you just keep going and you look through it and you make sure everything looks good. You know, this is the time to test links. If you have links in the back of the book, you can actually go up here and skip ahead. So I'll just do this. I'm trying to skip ahead. Oh, there we go. So you could click on that. Make sure it works. It'll take you to, you know, if you have the next book in the series ready to go, then you know, it'll take you to that. If you want to invite people to your newsletter, you click there. Invite people to do reviews. And I kind of went the extra mile and had everybody's review link in different stores there. But, you know, you can check all of these links, make sure that it looks good, takes them to the place where they can leave a review immediately. So that's, and it's important to check those links, by the way, because there's been a lot of times where somehow I typed something in wrong and it didn't work. So you want to make sure that these links that get you reviews, that get you more people opting into your newsletter, and, you know, that get people moving on to the next book in your series, if that's the case and you have one, you want to make sure those are working, because that's where you're getting reader, you know, people reading through your series. That's where you're getting people to contact you. It's the only way to make sure that all the people on Amazon who are buying your books have a way to contact you, and you have a way to contact them, basically. So that you want to make sure that you do that. Then once you take a look at it, you hit book details, go back to the page. And then you're going to just say, yay, that's great. I never do an ISBN for Kindle, because they're going to assign you an ASIN. And so I rarely do that. It's optional, but some people do. And that's completely up to you. If you want to have an ISBN for your ebook, I don't I don't think there's a right or wrong answer to that. It usually just has to do with what you're doing with this particular ebook, as far as, is it only on Amazon, or are you going to publish it wide? Then you might consider an ISBN for the ebook.
Yeah. Publisher wide means that you're going to go on other platforms.
Right.
And ISBN is just kind of the identification number for the books. If you are only staying on Amazon, Amazon will give you one for free. If you're getting one, it's not free. So that's something that you might want to consider as well. Yeah, I'm in a lot of pain right now about ISBN. So no, it's not ASIN, it's ISBN. So it's the number for books. Every single books come with a ISBN. So, so I'm just, there's barcode here, hold on. Anyway, everything, you know, if you go outside of Amazon, you're going to have a, you're going to need to buy a ISBN, and that's like part of the, it's like the identifier for each book.
And has the barcode on the back.
Some countries can get free ISBN. Some countries need to pay. It depends on where you're located, and you should get ISBN from where you're based. Not, it's not free in the UK. It's definitely not free in the UK. It's actually quite expensive. So yeah. So, but I don't think you should worry about this right now. Just focus on Amazon. That's what my advice.
This is the area where you can type in your publisher name if you have it. Okay. And then you just hit save and continue. And hopefully there are no errors on this page that I have to redo. Okay. So next page, this is all about whether you want to enroll your book in KDP Select, which we recommend you do if you're, especially if you're only staying on Amazon. There's no reason to not enroll it. And then just as a review, KDP Select is where you enroll your book in this program for 90 days, and you promise to only publish your book on Amazon and nowhere else. And they allow people, they allow people to review or to borrow the book. So they're not necessarily buying the book, but anyone enrolled in their Kindle Unlimited program pays $10 a month. They can have up to 10 books in their lineup at a time. Like they can have up to 10 books borrowed at a time. And you get paid for every page that they read. So that's how you get paid. Rather than them buying it, they're borrowing it, and you get paid for every page. A lot of authors do this because it makes up a lot of their income, since it's so easy for folks to enroll in Kindle Unlimited. They love the idea of only paying 10 bucks a month and basically they get to borrow as many books as they want, basically. So it works really well for them, and it works really well for authors who want to set a price that's competitive, but also great. You know, you don't want to set your book at 99 cents all the time just to compete. It'd be nice to be able to, you know, make it what it's worth, $5.99, $6.99, even as an ebook. And then for folks who don't want to pay that and most likely have Kindle Unlimited, then they're just going to, instead of paying $6.99, they're just going to go and borrow the book, and then you get paid for the page read. So you're not losing those people who wouldn't have paid that amount, if that makes sense. So I recommend you enroll in it. And then, you know, if later down the road you want to experiment publishing on different places, it's completely up to you, and that's fine. But for now, I would enroll your book in it and stick with it.
And
yeah, go ahead.
You still can promote your paperback book elsewhere on your website, or doing all those things yourself. So we've done a session on KDP Select. So previously, so maybe what we can do is we can do another session just only on KDP Select and really go in the function of it. So I'm just going to take a note. So we can do a session on KDP Select, and then we can also do a session on formatting.
Great. Yep. Sounds good.
Yeah. So, but KDP Select is just for your ebook, so you can still have all the marketing and advertising options with your paperback. Okay, but we'll expand on that.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Now this is where you mark the territories you want your books sold in. It's saying select the books for which you hold distribution rights. I'm assuming you hold all of them since you are the one who holds the rights to this book. You're the publisher. You're not, you know, using a different publisher to do this. So just mark all territories. I don't see any reason to only sell in one territory. That would be just silly. So make sure you click all territories. Make sure that your primary marketplace is going to be Amazon.com. Because that's where the majority of books are going to be sold, most likely. That's where the biggest audience is as far as like ebook consumption goes. And then you're going to come down here and click price point. You want to click 70%. And in order to get that 70%, the book needs to be priced between $2.99 or $9.99. I kind of hate Amazon a little for putting a cap on that, because there are some ebooks that are very, very long and it would be nice to charge more for an ebook. But you can't get the 70. They do that because they want you to be competitive. They want to be competitive and have their prices remain lower. So that can be a little frustrating with box sets that are digital and have a lot of, you know, books in them. So, you know, just consider value that you're offering if you do have a lot of pages. For those of you who are just publishing 30,000 word books, you know, this isn't a problem, you know, so you could do, I don't know, you could do $4.99, $3.99, whatever you want. Once you enter the price in, I'm going to bring this over here. Once you enter the price in, what you'll find is that it calculates things for you. So we're not doing the 35% rate. If we did, it would show you what that royalty would be like. 35% royalty for you would be like 99 cents or $1.99. Then you'd get 35% of that. Let's see, if you went over, then you'd only get 35%. So if you priced your ebook at $12.99, which I don't think I've ever seen an ebook that expensive unless it was a huge box set of digital books, then, you know, you'd only get a royalty of 35% for that as well. This delivery fee, this is because it has my cover in the ebook file and some little images. So it made the file a little bit bigger than normal. And so based on how big my file is, that's how big my delivery fee is. If you put a ton of images in your book and your file is really, really big, the delivery fee will get a little bit bigger. So make sure you price accordingly to be able to compensate for, you know, however much the delivery fee is. You don't want it to eat into your profits. So just keep that in mind. And you can, you know, you can change it how you need to, and it will still adjust. Okay.
So see where it says, where there's a little I and your book file size after conversion is 0.42 MB. So Amazon is already calculating your delivery fee. And when we say delivery fee, it's not the physical delivery, it's the size of the file for Amazon to send it to allow the readers to read it on digitally. So that's the delivery fee. So I did get a few questions around that. So the more pictures in your file, in your books, the bigger, the higher the delivery fee will be.
Right. I think on Amazon's terms, their publishing information, they said that 1 MB is 15 cents. And each one after that is 15 cents. So if your file's 2 MB, should be really big, then, you know, it'd be a 30-cent delivery fee. And I believe that sometimes changes. So just, you know, if you have questions about it, just always check Amazon's guidelines when it comes to books.
And the other question I sometimes get is, how do you know if you should price it at $3.99 or $2.99 or $4.99? You just need to be aligned with your competitors. See what your competitors are doing, how much they're selling, and just sell at the same price, because your book might be exceptional, but Amazon's algorithms don't care. They see how competitive you are, and if they see that you're not competitive, you're not going to convert well, and you're not going to sell well.
Right. Yep. What's nice about this also is that once you put the price in there, it converts it to all of the other stores and what the price would be for folks in India, the UK, Germany, and then what your royalty payout would be. So it does a really good job of doing that. And I believe, isn't there usually like a check mark for like, maybe that's just, oh, I'm thinking the paperback. I was going to say for expanded distribution. I don't think that's on the ebooks. And then this says allow Kindle book lending. That's not an option because we clicked on Kindle Select, KDP Select. But if you hadn't and you wanted to, you know, learn more about Kindle book lending and allow that, you could. If you want to go in and read more about it, you can. That's kind of a different topic altogether. And then these are the terms and conditions. And if everything looks good and you're happy about it, then you can either publish it, or if you just want to wait because you have a few more things to add, then you would hit save as draft and then publish it once you're ready. And that's it.
Yeah, and yes, so let's, you know, in the, I think it was on the first page where you can, you need to tell that you own all the rights in all territories, and that we, and the other question is whether it's a public domain name, sorry, a public domain book. If it's a public domain book, yes, it's on the earning, it's and Catherine, you're right, the earning is only 35%, it's royalty. So yeah, just keep that in mind if you're going down that path. Okay, all right, I think you are done. Okay, should we go to the questions?
What's that?
Should we go to the questions?
Yes, let's do it.
Okay, all right. So folks, we are only doing the question in the Q&A box, and we're going to read them out loud. It's just because Zoom doesn't allow for some reason for you guys to see the questions. Only we can see the questions. So we're just going to read out the questions, and then hopefully we're not missing anyone's questions. Okay, Sylvia, if we're writing with a pen name or real name, should we have a website for marketing purpose in that name? For example, johnsmith.com. Yes, not right now, but yes, I would. That's why I was talking about, you know, checking your domain name. And you don't have to have a website right now, but for later on, it's really good for you to have a domain name with your pen name. Say if your pen name is John Smith, so it would be good to have www.johnsmith.com. So just that in case you want to do external marketing, you have that option. Nicole says, I am much more encouraged by your style. It makes me think I can do this. Nicole, thank you so much. Of course you can do this. Frank, thank you. Your style works well with CJ. Yeah, we work really well together. Thank you. Does your entire book need to be in HTML format? No, like we said, only for your book description. Morcha, how much is Kindle Direct Publishing? Free? You can open an account for free, but use the same email that you use to open your seller account for your FBA products, just because I don't want Amazon to think that we have two accounts. So it's a strict no to have multiple KDP accounts. You're going to risk suspension. I know that people do it, but don't do it. Don't have two accounts. So Anthony, yes, it is just for the product description, the HTML code. Donna, so if I already have two books published, can I turn them into a series, or can I only create a series with a new publication? Yes, you can. CJ, do you want to answer that?
Yeah, so basically you already have two books and you want to make them a series. Was that was the question?
Yeah. So if you have two existing books, can you turn them into a series?
Absolutely. You might want to think about rebranding. Like if your covers are not similar from book one to book two, you really want your covers to look like they're within the same series. So you might want to consider redoing the covers just in case. But yes, you can go back in and you can you know, say book one is a series, and then it'll ask you, okay, what other books do you have already that you want to add? And then you would add book two as part of that series.
Mm.
Yeah. And if you have any questions about that and you're unsure, like the process and you're struggling with it, then then what I would do is I would just call Amazon, either do the email or do the phone. I would do the phone. I would call them. Don't settle for email. That way you can work with them on the phone to get that done.
Can I delete books from my KDP bookshelf? Phil is asking. I can see no obvious signs. I'm looking to clear some low content books.
Let's go to your bookshelf and take a look, or my bookshelf and take a look. Man, you know, I don't know. I know that you can unpublish, absolutely unpublish them. I don't know that you can actually go in.
Go those three little dots on the right hand in your draft one. Yeah.
Oh, there you go. Ta-da! Virginie knew. I've never actually gone in and deleted anything before.
I had a few false starts.
You have to do it.
False start. Okay. Bill, I'm sorry. Whoa, went so fast. Hi, I'm new. Welcome, Bill. Having trouble with tech and KD Spy, I ask them questions and get answers relating to Apple machines, which do not work for my Microsoft Surface, which I have told them. Microsoft tell me their system can use apps from other stores. Does anyone use KD Spy on a Surface rather than Google Chrome? KD Spy, I think it's only a Chrome extension, but
Yeah.
it's irrelevant. It's regardless if you're using a Mac or a PC. So you can just download the Google Chrome, and it's free. And then once you the Chrome browser onto your computer, and then once you download the Google Chrome browser, then you can download the KD Spy Chrome extension. So Bill, if you're still having more trouble, send an email to kpi@bluesky amazon.com, and I can guide you through it. Yeah. Okay. Venkata, is it common for 2 to 3 authors write something together under the same pen name? Is it allowed on Kindle? No, so it's common to have 2 authors to be on the book. So, but you cannot have 2 different authors with the same pen name, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if Stephen and I, we write a book together, we will have both of our pen name. I mean, it's an agreement that you have with your co-author, whether you want both to be on the cover or not. And if you both want to be on the cover, then you both need to have your pen name on the cover.
Right.
Kevin, can we ask the ghostwriter to sign a no-disclosure agreement so that they cannot tell anyone they wrote the book? This is in addition to signing the rights over. I mean, I'm of the view that you can do anything. You can,
yeah.
You can give any agreements to your ghostwriters, but whether they're going to sign it or not, it's up to them. Yeah. So, who do you have to pay and how much to get the domain name? Okay, all right. So if you just go on, let me.
Here, do you want me to stop sharing?
Yeah, I'll share mine.
Okay.
Oh, hold on. Why is this? Wait, okay. Can you see my screen here?
Yeah, I see it.
So, let me remove the text box here. So I'm on GoDaddy. So GoDaddy it's just a domain name registrar. Okay. So there's a lot of them. There's Namecheap, there's Bluehost, there's something gator with an alligator. I can't remember the name, but there's a lot of them, and you can use any one of them. You just do www.godaddy.com. So see here, it automatically take me to the Australian version. And then I just type in tomclancy.com and search, and then see it says tomclancy.com is taken. But the .com.au it's available. I don't recommend because I suspect that's, you know, like, I just go with .com. Just go with .com because that's the most common dot that people use. You know, yeah. So yeah, that's it. Where's the question box? Oh, thanks, Lauren. You're doing an amazing job because I'm losing track. Yeah, that's awesome. I was told that Fiverr ghostwriters provide all right to the person who ordered the book to be created. No agreements are required. So, Mary Rose, if you go in the terms and conditions of on the Fiverr platform, there might be something written that all the works produced by the freelancers on Fiverr, the intellectual property rights belong to you. It's known as work for hire. So it's you are the owner of the IP, not the ghostwriter or any freelancers doing the book cover, for example. You are not the freelancer is not the book designer is not the owner of the intellectual property for doing the book cover. You are. So Anthony, is there a specific site to check if the domain name is available? Yeah, so GoDaddy, Namecheap, Bluehost, those you can check all of them. Sylvia, would we use a domain name prior to launch to try and build a list to market to? Sylvia, I think you should check if the domain name is available, and if it is, buy it and then publish your book under that name, and then you can do all your external marketing thing, build a website later. You don't have to worry about that right now. Megan, should it be a .com domain? Yes, .com. Amy, is it the pen name or the publishing company name that we need to check for existing trademark and domain availability? Both. I will check for both. Can you add a book? And oh, by the way, just back that you don't have to have both. Yeah, you can just have one. You must have author name, which is your pen name, which can be the same as your publisher name, but you don't have to have an author name and a publishing company name. Can you add a book after it's been published in paperback and ebook formats and create a series? It's not a series, it's just the different formatting, Sarah. So if say CJ published the assassin thing, I can't even remember.
I don't know the title.
I can't even remember saying something assassin thing. Yeah, it's she published the ebook first. You know, on the very first page, she can choose between ebook or paperback. So she published the ebook first, and then she's going to choose paperback if that's what she wants to do. But it's not part of series. It's just different formats. Okay. Can we change the publisher name from Amazon Publishing to our publisher name later on once we are set up? I think you can change.
I think you can. I think that definitely the ebook side. Sometimes the data specifically for print, you're not allowed to change specifics when it comes to a print version, but I don't think that applies to publisher. So yes, that can be changed.
Sandra is asking, so it says choose up to 2 browse categories. Where and when are 8 more allowed, and why is that not visible? So by default, when you're uploading your book, you can choose, you can add 2 browse categories. Then later on, you need to send to Amazon a request to add more categories. We've covered that in the training videos as part of your KPI course. And we showed how you send the request to Amazon. So it's not visible when you first upload the book, but it's something that you can add on. Okay. Looks like I'm stuck, not sure where to go from here. Is there a coach mentor available to make sure that people like me who are slow can gain from the money they have paid? Ebony, you can send in any questions you have to kpi@blueskyamazon.com. Maybe Lauren, if you can just write that email for Ebony again. So kpi@blueskyamazon.com, and we're going to answer to all your questions. Sarah, when would you buy the name? During or perhaps after first publishing? Before first publishing, because when you're going to upload your book, you have to have the name ready. So I would go check if the name is available before. Dennis, what is the email address? I have looked at the trademark site and put this up. I will send the pic. Dennis, do you want to send me an email? Just kpi@blueskyamazon.com. I think that I can maybe check for you. So Donna, so to reformat the description of a book that is already published, do I just hit the edit section on that book to get back to this screen? So I'm assuming you're saying that you've already published your ebook, and then you want to upload a updated formatted book. So you just go back to that section where you upload your ebook and you upload the new one. CJ, is that what you're doing?
Yeah, yeah. Anytime you need to upload a new, anytime you have a new updated manuscript, you just go and click on the same button and upload that newer version, and it will get rid of the old one automatically.
Yeah. And also once you've published your book, it's not going to be instant. It's going to take 24 to 48 hours before Amazon actually approves it. So you're going to receive an email when they're going to say it's under review. So don't be alarmed if you don't see your book published straight away. Christine, is it okay to put more than one word in each box other than a phrase, keyword? Yes, yeah, definitely go for more like a phrase rather than just one word. Yes, Christine. So for example, notebook, diary, planner. Isn't that a little bit keyword stuffing though?
I think it is. I would avoid it. What I would do is I would take the word notebook and use it in a searchable phrase, like something that people are searching frequently when it comes to notebooks, and then the way that people are searching planners and the way that people are searching diaries, and make them separate keyword phrases so that you're covering all your bases in a way that people are actually searching the term rather than just dropping words in there, single words that don't make up a phrase.
So when you think about keyword phrase, think about how you would do that search rather than just chuck in all the words that you can think of in that box. Hope for the best. How do you get the categories that aren't showing? You use Publisher Rocket. We covered that last week, Anthony. Sylvia, 7 keywords boxes question. Amazon says you can mix the keywords and you will still work, but I'm wondering if that is the case. For example, how to build a garden vegetable patch with herb would cover how to build a herb garden, and also how to build a vegetable patch and how to build a garden. Does this sound right? So there's no exact evidence that you shouldn't keyword stuff in those boxes, but yeah.
I would utilize it in a way where you're not being repetitive. You know, you only get 7 of those in the metadata. So I would use keyword phrases that make sense, and, you know, cover something specific, and then move on to the next one and cover something else that's specific, and then move on to the next one. And, you know, so that way you're covering all of your bases. I know that I'm not sure what Amazon says in that respect, but just after doing this for years, what I find is that that's the best way to target things, is to be very specific within a keyword phrase, and then find another one that covers more bases, I guess you could say, of what your book is about.
Christine, so search categories through Publisher Rocket, just checking. Yes, use Publisher Rocket to find your additional categories. Sandra, I think we answered to the question. Yeah. I've noticed in Publisher Rocket, some books have 14 categories listed. You will find many categories in Publisher Rocket, but it's up to you to choose the best ones, and you can have in total. I actually don't think it's 8, CJ. I think it's 7. I think you can have 7 additional categories. So
are you talking about the 10? Wait, what are you talking about?
No, I'm talking about, so you have the 2 default one, and then I think it's 7 additional categories that you can add in, not 8. But let's double check that. But if you cannot have 8, you can have at least 7. So you can always send in 8 and see if Amazon will add all the 8. So it's either 9 in total or 10 in total. I can't be 100%.
Pretty sure it's 10.
10? Okay. So it's 2 default ones, and then you can submit 8 more. So Zoom user, I don't know who that is. In Publisher Rocket, you're going to find many categories, but you need to choose the ones that are the most relevant, 10. So 10 in total. Mohammed, the book that I want to publish are usually in self-help from an Islamic perspective. So it's a particular niche addressing Muslims. So a subsection within the nonfiction, self-help, spirituality category. Similarly, my wife's topic include parenting targeting Muslim parents. So if that niche subtopic doesn't exist, it might be difficult to get on page 1. Is there a way to send Amazon ads targeting interests like Facebook? So there's 2 questions in your questions, I think. One is about categories, and one is about Amazon ads. So when it comes to categories, Amazon is adding all the time new categories. So I would just keep an eye on by using Publisher Rocket and see if there's new categories that are added in. If there's no specific subcategories for your book, I would get the one that's the closest. So instead of targeting Muslims specifically, so maybe spirituality is a good one, or maybe, yeah, spirituality would be a good one, I think.
For AMS ads, you can then go in and be very specific about the way people are searching them. So, you know, do some Publisher Rocket, like advanced, just do some keyword research and use Muslim and Islamic beliefs, however you think people might search that, and use that as part of your keywords for your Amazon ads. That's how you can get super targeted and specific for that, even if you can't find it in the categories.
On Amazon ads, AMS ads, there's no like interest category, like pre-entered interest categories like on Facebook ads. So you can't select interest, so to speak, but you can enter those keywords to be, you can choose those keywords to be really targeted. So then only people who are interested in those topics will click on your book. Can you change the release date after it has been saved? No, I don't think you can.
No. No, once, yeah, no, are we talking about pre-orders? Once your pre-order is set, you cannot change it without getting in trouble. So be really sure about your pre-order and the date that you want to set it. And then when it comes to just not doing a pre-order, once you publish it, they will publish it within a day or two. So yeah, it'll get published fast.
Kate, does the formatter create it in EPUB?
Yes, your book formatters should understand the difference between EPUB, Mobi, PDF, and EPUB specific to specific stores. So, you know, EPUB for Nook, Kobo, all those other stores, and EPUB for Kindle. So make sure that they know that. Make sure you ask those questions, because any good book formatter should know the difference between those files, and will make sure that they format things specific to those requirements.
Okay. So we're mindful of the time. We're just going to go as long as we can. So thank you so much for staying and for being patient and letting us to go through all the questions. But I totally understand if you need to go leave for other things. It's recorded. We're going to cover all the questions we can. Can we just stop asking questions now, because we can maybe go another half an hour. But if you keep adding questions, we're never going to stop. So thank you again for being patient with us. So okay, next. With the cover creator, how do you put in the content of the back cover? With the cover,
oh, the paperback cover.
Yeah.
When you open up, oh, maybe we should just demonstrate that super quick. When you open the cover creator, oh, come back here. You can actually go in. It's going to take some time. You can actually go in and it will give you, like, it will show you a template with your picture, your ebook cover on one side, and then the spine will have a little cursor where you can type stuff in, and then you can copy and paste on the left side. It'll show you where you can copy and paste your blurb. It'll even give you a little area where you can put an author picture if you want to, and an author bio on the back as well. So it will show you those things. Let me just let's undo that. Let's see if it'll let me do that. Okay, launch cover creator. And then you can choose different styles. You can choose different, so choose design, style, edit, preview, continue. I want to make sure that I grab an image from my computer so that I can upload my ebook cover to this. So I'll just grab this real quick again. And then what it's going to do is take the ebook cover and put it on the front. And then you can choose the way it's going to look on, like, the spine in the back. I usually go for black. That works for me. Oh, it's going to take its time. But you'll see here why I encourage you to use your ebook cover. Obviously, you want it to look the same as the paperback, but also this nonsense. Just, oh, I'm not a fan of the templates.
No.
So, yeah. Do you want to start answering questions while this is?
Yeah, while this is uploading. So is the Kindle cover creator free as part of KDP? Amy, yes. So we don't need BookBolt for this. It's not a content creator. So with BookBolt, you get to have, you know, lines and, you know, those like boxes as part of your, for example, your low content book. But with this, it's just for the cover, Amy. So you cannot do the inside. Here we go. It's back.
Yep. So, oh, and I made the mistake of just getting right into the actual ebook. So this is what it will look like in the ebook, which is not helpful because I wanted to show you the paperback. But basically what would happen is you would also see the spine right here. and then the back right here. And then it would give you this little cursor where you could actually write in what's going to be in the spine. And then you could copy and paste everything in the back and then format it to fit however you want. And it'll give you font styles that you can use like this. You can also auto fit your book description in the back to make it work. So those are just some options to help you. If we go, I'm sorry, maybe next time I'll show you a demonstration of the actual paperback. I apologize. I forgot that I was actually in the ebook area, but that's what it would look like opening it up. And yes, you'd be able to edit the spine and the back cover. So
if the ebook version, Sandra, if the ebook version looks great, that doesn't mean the print version will. I had a sample copy printed and each new chapter started on the back side of the previous printed page. This wasn't visible until I paid for a print copy and saw the results. It would seem that it's the norm in printed book didn't carry through in this regard.
Sandra, what happened? Did she look at the print previewer? Because you can actually spot that within, so we have the Kindle previewer, but you can actually spot it within the print previewer when you show it, when that pops up. And every time a chapter starts, within the publishing world for print books, a chapter is supposed to start on the right-hand side, not the left-hand side. So if you instruct your formatter that every chapter needs to be on the right-hand side, what they'll do is they'll add a blank page when needed to make sure that that chapter goes on the right-hand side. I've never gone through the print previewer before and had something shown correctly and then gotten the print book back and had the pages messed up. So that's why I'm asking you if you look through the print previewer first. Because that shouldn't have happened. If you looked through the print previewer and everything looked fine, that should not have happened. That was really odd to me. Yeah, but just make sure that your book formatter knows that they would need to add blank pages in order to get the chapters to start on the right side, and you add them as needed. Okay.
So we have a book formatter for the ebook, and the formatting for paperback is going to be different. So they need to do formatting work to both format, ebook format and paperback format. And same for your book cover. The book cover for ebook is not the same as for a paperback. So you need to make sure every time if you outsource that, to ask for both if you're publishing in both formats. And Sandra has another question. Does the writer need to pay to promote and advertise when it is on KDP Select? Sorry, I've lost the question. Oh, sorry. Where is it?
You would pay in the sense that if you want people to find out that it's on Kindle, that it is in Kindle Select, then you go to book promo sites, or you share things with other people, and there will be places on these different book promo sites that will say, yes, my book is enrolled in Kindle Unlimited. And so what that does is that signifies to anyone who has a Kindle Unlimited account that they can go and get your book and borrow it. So in that sense, you're paying for promotions on other book sites to let people know about it, but you don't have to physically, like, you don't have to pay to be part of the program. And then you don't have to pay to have like free days. You get free days when you're enrolled in Kindle Select. So when it comes to letting people know, yeah, it's kind of the same process as letting people know that you published a book. You do have to pay for marketing. Any kind of marketing you do when you let people know, hey, my book's 99 cents, or my book is enrolled in Kindle Unlimited, and the days are free for now, you'll get it for free. You do have to pay other sites to be able to promote that.
So because Sandra said, because I did that and got absolutely nothing. So you got maybe nothing because people don't know that you are doing free promotion. And
we need to know where you paid, like what sites you paid, yeah, to kind of do a deeper dive into that as to why it didn't work. Also, your book, like, we need to look at the cover. we need to look at the book description, because sometimes even when you promote a book, if your cover is not targeted to the audience, and if your blurb is not written well, people will go to the page, they'll click on it, but then they just lose interest because they decide they don't want to buy it. So it may be a marketing issue as far as, what does your cover look like? What does your book description look like? Do you have enough reviews on there? If you don't, that could be an issue as well. Like if you don't have at least 10 or 20 reviews. So there are a lot of variables there, and we wouldn't really know how to guide you in that unless we actually took a look at your page and the book and knew the sites that you had promoted, just to get a better idea of why that didn't work.
Okay, Dennis, so should we use that cover creator as a rule anyway, and just have your font image and it creates the rest of the book correctly, spine and so on? Dennis, I don't use that.
It's up to you.
I really don't like to use that. I like to outsource everything to my book cover designer. And then I just say, I want one for ebook, I want one for paperback, and I don't want to touch that thing. So it's up to you. Nicole, Sophie teaches no bleed. Should we do with bleed instead? When? So Sophie teaches no bleed because there's almost no pictures at all in any of her books. It's really good to have a bleed when you have some pictures. And just because I'm paranoid, I'm always afraid that they're going to maybe print over the text. So it's just me. I like to have bleed, but CJ, you don't use bleed?
No, because I mean, I don't have a lot of images or anything like that. Doesn't mean I wouldn't in the future. I think it's a personal preference, especially based on the content of your book. So I would research that more. Research that on your end to decide what would work best for you.
So if you're doing, say, a low content book, for example, then have bleed, because you want to make sure that the lines are not cut and things like that. You will just look very, very silly. Judy, so for ebook, what pixel should I tell my cover creator designer I need? Judy, it's not just that. There's a lot of requirements. So I just want to make sure that my cover designer knows about the requirements from KDP. I'm not going to go dive in and try to learn all the nuances, because
the best way to do that is just when you are posting jobs and looking for people, in your description, you say, I need someone who can create a Kindle cover, and I need someone who can create a print cover for Amazon. That way, anyone who doesn't know how to do that won't apply for that job. Like, you need just make sure that you're being very specific about the type of cover you want that you're going to be publishing on Amazon. That way, you're only getting cover designers who are familiar with Kindle Direct Publishing, and they understand the guidelines.
Okay, Mocha, how do you show your cover and select cover creator? So in order to have a cover, you need to so I think the way how you do it, so you start with ebook and you commission a ebook cover. Then once you want to do your paperback cover, you upload your ebook cover using cover creator, and then that's where you can adjust the spine and things like that. But really, Moshe, I don't do that. CJ, you're annoying because you're just opening a can of worms for a lot of people.
Sorry, I just do it because it saves me money, and B, it's super easy and it looks really good. So I just pick the black background and then just add the text on the side and make it really pretty, because I can do whatever I want with it. But it is, again, a personal choice. And so if that's something you want to do, just monk with it. I mean, you don't have to keep it if you hate it. Just go in and play with it and figure out what you enjoy. But as far as like the rule of thumb goes, you always need to upload your ebook cover to the cover creator in your print form. This is the ebook form. Do it in your print form. That way it will pull up the full paperback template to work with. Okay.
And you are in KX10, so you can, CJ can.
Yeah, you can bug me about it. We can do some coaching calls and work on it, girlfriend. Oh, we will make it so good. Virginia will be jealous. # jealous.
Okay. Wandana is asking, can you change to ISBN later? So when you're publishing on Amazon exclusively, you have the free ISBN that Amazon is going to give to you. If you want to publish outside of Amazon, you can go buy ISBN. Say if you want to upload your book on Ingram Spark, you can just buy a ISBN and add that to your book. You cannot upload your book on Ingram Spark if you don't have, if you don't buy an ISBN. You can't use the free one that Amazon is giving you because it belongs to Amazon.
Can I say something real quick? Just because
yeah,
I have another coaching call coming up soon, because I didn't realize we were going to be on here for 2 hours.
All right, okay.
It's been lovely. It's been divine, and I want you to keep going and answering questions. But I actually have to jet, yo.
Okay, I also have a call in 15 minutes, so let's try to go as fast as we can. So if you use Kindle Select, which you recommend, then we can only publish on Amazon. Yes, Ellen, for 90 days. And only for your ebooks, nothing else. You can still publish your paperback, sell your paperback elsewhere. Nancy, so we need to pay for our ISBN. How much? Nancy, I think you're based in Australia. You need to check by ISBN in Australia, and then it's different cost depending on which country you're based. What is, Christine, what is a good price to charge for an ebook today? Check what your competitors are doing and just charge the same. Nina, is one paid 4-page rates at the end of the KDP Select contract? Nina, the page rate
monthly.
It's so the readers, they might sign into Kindle Unlimited, and in which case they can borrow 10 books every month, and they can read, instead of buying your book, they're going to read a number of pages of that book. And for every page read, you're going to get paid for that.
And you'll see it on your dashboard. It shows you how many pages have been read daily out of your book. So you get paid monthly, just like you would monthly with other book sales. You get paid page reads per month.
Does that, Aline, does that apply to children books too? I don't know what what is it? If you can just maybe let us know quickly. Wandana, why would I choose 35% versus 70% royalty? What does that mean? It means that, first of all, some books, for example, public domain, you don't have a choice. It's just 35%. Secondly, 35% versus 70%, it kind of depends on how much you're selling your book for. So if you're selling your book over $9.99, you can only get 35% royalty. And maybe your book is really valuable and you're selling it for $29.99, say, in which case, well, even if it's 35%, it's still worth it than 70%, but capped at $9.99. Wandana, if that makes sense. Mm-hmm. Okay. Is there a preferred MB size? I think there's a standard MB size for ebooks. I just can't remember what it is. But there's no preferred. It just, depending on your book size, it will just increase the delivery fee, Donna. Wandana, can you change price by country?
No, I wish you could, but you can't.
No, okay.
No, you set the price and then they calculate it based on all the other countries. So
is there any harm putting your ebook for $0 for 7 days to get reviews without going to KDP Select? So you don't enroll into KDP Select, but you put your book for $0 for 7 days. Well, you can do that, but why would you want?
You would have to price match it. The lowest you can go is 99 cents on for your ebook. And then in order to get them to put it as free for a small amount of time or a permanent amount, like this book, this is perma-free. The way that I do that is I have to physically publish this on Barnes & Noble, Kobo, Google Play, all of the other stores, make that free because those other retail sites allow it to be free. And then I have to email Amazon and say, hey, my book is free on all of these other sites. Here's the links. And now I need you to price match it and make this free. And so you have to go through that whole thing and say your competitors are selling it for free. And that's the only way they'll manually go in and make it free, even though in here it will show that it's 99 cents. On Amazon, then it will show that it's free on your page. So that's the way you can do it.
And I think the other question is to ask Nancy is why don't you want to use KDP Select?
Right, because KDP Select will allow you to just do free days without having to go through that process. So they'll give you up to 5 free days, I think, within an enrollment period of 90 days. So, and you don't have to use all 5 at one time.
Yeah. Can we publish Kindle ebooks in Australia, or is it still US and UK? Julie, you, as CJ showed, once you've entered all the information, your ebook will be available in, I think, 14 different
all territories. Yeah, all Amazon marketplaces. Unless you decide you want to pick the ones, then you would click the little button at the bottom, and then you'd say, I'm going to pick the countries that I want it to be.
So that's for your ebook, Julie, not paperback.
Right.
Paperback is only available in some countries, not all the marketplaces. Thanks, Christine. Yes, we do work really well together. Yes, we do. Laura, am I right in thinking that to get your link to invite people, where is it? Oh, I've lost the question. Am I right in thinking that to get your link to invite people to review, you have to publish book first, then get the URL to the review page, then re-upload the book? Yes, Laura, yep. I know it's really annoying. Yeah, it's really annoying. David, are print books price different than ebooks? Oh, yes, because you're going to have to pay Amazon for the cost of the print and sending out to customers. So definitely they are more expensive. Are we ticking yes to book landing? I missed it. Nancy is asking. Book landing.
She's asking book landing page?
No, you know, the last paragraph where is there's a option where you can land your book if you're not enrolled into KDP Select.
I am not following. Where you can land your book. I don't think I understand the question.
I think there's
lend. So if I'm understanding correctly, it's because you selected Kindle Select Unlimited, you didn't have the option to tick at the bottom for lending.
Oh, I see.
For family and friends for 14 days. Yeah.
Got it.
I believe that's the question.
Okay. Yeah. So if you're, nope, you're right. You're right, Lauren. Thank you for the clarification. Yeah. If you're enrolled in Kindle Select, you don't get to do the lending or the borrowing at the bottom. But if you aren't enrolled, I believe that option opens up for you. So, you know, research the differences on there. Amazon's got a ton of guidelines, and they've got little links next to each thing for you to get more information if you're just really unclear on stuff. So click on those, do some Google searches and ask other authors what they do and what they prefer. You know, get some insight into that. Go to some Facebook groups, author Facebook groups, and ask them questions, because they're physically writing the books and publishing the books. You're going to get a lot of indie authors, and they're going to know a lot about this stuff. See what their preferences are. Maybe they prefer the lending option over the Kindle Select option. You know, just kind of research that a little bit.
Okay, guys, I can't. There's so many questions. We're gonna go through.
I think some have been added. Lauren, you said you took screenshots of questions, right? Have you been doing that again? I knew it. You're so dang efficient. Oh, I love you.
I haven't yet, but I will.
Okay, she's going to take screenshots of the rest of the questions. That way we can hold on to them and hopefully address them, you know, or just pay attention to what's been asked most and try to help you guys next week. But please don't think we forgot about you. We just have more calls to do, more coaching to do.
Yeah. So I'm just going to go a few more really quickly. Why does Sophie teach no bleed? It's because there's no pictures in her book, so it doesn't matter to not have a bleed. as I don't have a seller account, only an Amazon customer account, do I join KDP account in my own name? Yes, you can do either under your own name or under company name. It's up to you. Laura, can you clarify your publisher name, please? I had in my head, you could just make up a name and put it in. But from what you're saying today, I had to be a proper, no, it has to be a proper entity. Is that right? I have a limited liability company already, but will not use that name. No, Laura, no. A pen name, it can just be
anything.
Sarah Smith, okay?
Mhm.
It doesn't have to be an entity like as a company or LLC or anything like that. So, but the reason why I said you should check if the domain name is available and if it's not trademark is because if later on you want to have your own website to promote your books outside of Amazon, you want to be able to use www.sarahsmith.com, and that's it. And I also want you to make sure that you're not infringing on people's trademark. For example, if you want to do a book on dummies for playing, I don't know, tennis 101 for dummies, you cannot use that because it's a trademark name. So yeah, I hope, Laura, it makes sense. If it doesn't, we can go again over those questions next time. Thanks, Mercedes. Great style, great session. Love your hair. Go crazy now. I'm going to have to go and wanted to hear CJ juicy bits. I don't know if you're still here, Mercedes, but I'm just going to give 2 minutes at the end for CJ to go crazy on her juicy bit. And no, it's an expense.
You need to let me share now, dang it. I've been holding on to this for 2 hours. Everyone needs to know. Everyone needs to know.
Once you have been issued an ISBN number for paperback, Christine, I don't believe that you can delete the book, only unpublish it. Yeah, paperback, I think you're right, because can you change? No, I think you can change. If you publish a paperback and you want to edit it, can you change it again?
Oh yeah, you can change, yeah. As like within any manuscript can be changed and updated and then re-uploaded. That's completely fine.
Oh, I know. I think once you publish the book in your bookshelf, you cannot delete them. You can only unpublish. I think that's what she's saying, Christine.
Oh, okay.
Because the one that you saw with a delete ebook, it's still in draft format. So Phil, to your question, can you delete the books? I don't think you can. I think you can only unpublish. Nicole, when I make a change to an already published book, like a keyword or price, I freak out when I have to click publish. I think it's going to take my book down, or I have to start over. Is this the only way to update by clicking publish?
Yeah, it is. The only way to officially update what you've done is to publish it. Otherwise, you're just saving it, but it's just saved with it's basically saved with unpublished changes is what it will say. So if you want it to physically be changed on Amazon, then you got to publish it. Absolutely. Pull the trigger.
All right. And Lauren, can you do a screenshot of the question from Patrick all the way down, because we won't have time. I'm going to give 30 seconds to CJ to make her reveal. Go.
Okay. I was in a discussion with Virginie, as we often are every day, and I mentioned Chewbacca, and her response was, "Who is that?" I feel very strongly that as far as fiction goes, we need to help Virginie just a little bit, because I said Star Wars and she said, "I've never understood. Star Wars and Star Trek are the same, right?" I about died. A million deaths over. No, they're not the same. So we need an intervention here is what I'm saying, because she thought Star Wars and Star Trek were the same. They're not the same. She didn't know who Chewbacca was. This is a problem. Han Solo, Ewoks. I don't understand it. And quite frankly, I'm just sick over it. All the things she's missed out on. So I feel it very important that we give her as many resources in our emails as possible so that she can do her research and enjoy the benefits of sci-fi. Okay. Space opera. I mean, come on, folks. Okay. Come on. Guys, yes, I'm a nerd.
CJ, no one cares. There's only
everyone cares. Are you kidding me? Let's look at the chat. People are like, what do you mean Star Wars and Star Trek, they're not the same. You're going to start a war because there are people who love Star Wars and there are people who love Star Trek, and there is no mixing that. And to lump them together, cardinal sin. Oh, Virginie, you've never attended a conference before, have you? A convention.
A convention for this? Oh my God.
Yes, there are conventions for this. We dress up, yo. It happens.
It doesn't make any sense. So I think I'm going to get a lot of complaints from people saying, V, how can you not know this?
Exactly.
I don't know
It's
about
my
this.
goal. Just a little loving peer pressure so that she'll watch these with me. That's all I'm asking. That's all I'm asking for.
No one really cares because
Everyone cares.
I don't see that many comments in the chat box anyway. So only a few
Disabled the chat box. I
only
know
a few people. Only a few people. So I considered that I'm perfectly normal. I don't need any intervention. I'm all good. And
she didn't know who Chewbacca was.
It's coaching time. Yeah, no, I don't know. I mean, no, yeah. And I'm still not that clear on the difference between Star Trek and Star Wars. It's just.
Oh, she said it again. She verbalized it again. Oh my word.
And it's
I'm
on
so much
record.
pain right now.
It's on record. Okay, we got to go, but because we have a call. Thanks you everyone, and thank you so much for your patience and for allowing us to answer all the questions. I hope that the format works for you, so you can keep chatting in the chat box, and we're just going to answer to the questions in the Q&A box. So if you want to hear more about us giving you tips and doing banters at the same time, we're going to launch a YouTube channel, but you are free to join or not. It's up to you, but you're going to get advice at the same time, some of our silly comments. So yeah, that's it from us. Thank you so much. We might actually do KDP Select next week.
Yeah, we could focus on that for sure.
Yep, sounds good. All right, let's go. I'm just receiving asking me where I am. I'm coming. Thanks, guys.
Bye.